All right, I think we're going live here, Carrie. Good evening.
Hi.
Hi, it takes a few minutes for some followers to come join us, and that's all good stuff. But welcome. Thank you so much for joining me, Carrie.
Thank you for having me.
And so I'm sure if you're following the Lupus Foundation, I'm Leslie Tierney. I'm the Vice President of Operations for our chapter. And joining me this evening for some festive holiday cheer is Carrie Roberts. And Carrie, can you tell everyone where you're from?
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay, all right. And we've been longtime friends. I've known you for quite some time.
Yes.
And I hope it's okay to say that you are a lupus warrior, right?
Yep.
And I'm trying to think of the first time I met you and the last time I met you. I think the first time I met you was at the walk in Cincinnati when we were at Fountain Square. Is that the first time, or were you in our Middletown walks?
No, I didn't do the Middletown walk.
Okay. All right. So remember those fun days of walking downtown Cincinnati on all those streets?
Yes.
I don't know if there's any other fellow Cincinnatians out here having me holler at them, obey all traffic laws. You know, we can laugh about it this year. We missed the walk this year, so I didn't get to see you at the walk. And I was trying to think, the last time I saw you, you had told me was at the Blue Ash Lupus Summit in Blue Ash, which is like a suburb of Cincinnati. How can you talk about the location of Blue Ash?
Blue Ash is north of where I am. It's near the hotel was off of 275 at Blue Ash Road or Hunt Road, somewhere around in here. So it's maybe like 10 minutes from me.
Yeah, and that was a couple of years ago. So it's been a minute since I've seen you in person. But I think.
Oh no, at UC.
UC.
Are you at UC?
I at the summit last year then.
Yeah, I was at UC.
Okay, all right. So then you corrected me. But it's been definitely a year now because we've all been stuck at home, and you know, we're making the best of it. And tonight we're trying to just bring some holiday cheer and talk with lupus patients and just see if anyone out there wants to chit chat with us. We picked a later time here in case anyone's kind of scrolling through Facebook wanting to know what's up. And what's up is Carrie Roberts. And so I wanted to just connect with you, talk with other lupus patients and see what we have out there. And, you know, I guess we could start this off. You know, you're all decked out in your lupus gear. I see your purple headband on and your sweatshirt from years past. And, you know, could you just, can you touch base upon, I know this is a big question. This could be like the whole conversation we have tonight. But can you share with everyone and just identify with, you know, the people out there listening, how has lupus impacted you? Can you share that with us?
It started impacting me as a preteen, early teen. At the age of 14, I started passing out. No one knew why. I was diagnosed with several items that weren't true. The big one was mono, and at 14, I had never kissed a boy, so I knew that wasn't it. But then as I progressed in age, when the hormones started kicking in, lupus got very violent.
Wow.
So I was diagnosed at age 22, confirmed, and then a year later diagnosed with fibromyalgia. So I've been dealing with those since I was diagnosed in 83. I was 22 years old.
Okay.
So it's a fight one day at a time. So if anybody tells anybody, you know, oh, it's nothing, listen to your body, you know, is my staying point for myself. And that's one of the best things you can do is don't let a doctor tell you it's in your head.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not. I mean, it could be affecting your head, but it's affecting your body too. So
yeah, that's big advice right there, Carrie, is listen to your body.
Yes.
is that really you feel, what's going on in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times I've heard from other lupus patients that I feel like I'm a hypochondriac, or I just don't feel like people believe me. And one person once told me, like, I have so much pain in my one finger. I don't know what it is. And I feel like a hypochondriac. And when I bring this up to whoever's treating me, I feel, a certain way. And
Right.
so what I'm hearing for you is like, no, if you feel a certain way, listen to that. And
that's where tracking your symptoms comes in very well.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good items that you can use, like the checklist and the other items that are given out at the different summits.
Yeah.
I'm not a big diary person or whatever, but I do track my symptoms.
Yeah.
Especially when they're moderate to severe.
Mm-hmm.
And the pain can go from one finger to the next. You never know.
That's right. And it can be there. It can be there. So it's not something that you should overlook. So,
right.
I love that you're saying listen to your body. And you're making me so proud, Carrie. You're just this like well-educated lupus patient that has, unfortunately had lupus for years. But the symptom tracker, you're pulling up stuff that we're trying to teach patients to use these tools to help them. So I appreciate you mentioning that from the summits and things like that. And I wanted to mention to you, lupus impacted you young, middle school age, and it takes an average of 6 years for a lupus patient to be diagnosed. And I got to be honest with you, I don't know I'm sure you talk to a lot of other lupus patients, but many patients are diagnosed with mono early on. Mm-hmm. And there's something with the Epstein-Barr virus that triggers something in the immune system. And so, there's definitely a correlation here. And we're getting comments here. So I just want to show you people that are talking to us. So of course, Suzanne's always there and saying hello to us, but she said mono, me too. That was me too. So there's similarities with other patients. And people are just thanking us and thank you for sharing and talking with us. So I just want to let people are talking to us. And that piece of advice, we don't know who we might be talking to, that listening to your body might be a good message from one lupus patient to another to kind of hang on to. Yeah. And the point I wanted to make about with your story is, I don't know if you've checked out the latest issue of the Lupus magazine that our chapter puts out. Did you get it?
Ta-da!
That's a lot of hard work and dedication put into there. And it's not as simple as it looks, but I'm so happy it's in your hands. That makes me so proud that we can pull stuff off like that. So I wanted to mention there the story of Justina. Similar to you, she was 14 years old on a baseball field passing out.
That was me. I was a catcher for softball and laid out in front of the umpire, and they was like, "What's wrong with this girl?"
She was too. That is amazing that you guys have this similarity, And so here she is in her 20s now trying to figure it out. If you had a piece of advice for your younger self at 20 years old, I know listen to your body is one of them. Do you have any other suggestions? If you could talk back to your 20-year-old self.
I first of all would tell myself that it's not my fault. I didn't ask for it. It took me a while to accept it, and I paid for that. So if you get a diagnosis, don't ignore it. Do what the doctors say. Take your meds, your diet, the sun, and all of that good stuff. We need to take care of ourselves. My thing is I would not deny it.
Right.
Because you suffer from it down the line. And I think what made me start denying was when they told me I wouldn't see 25.
Oh.
And I'll be 60 next month. So.
Well, you proved them all wrong.
Yes.
And thank goodness. Thank goodness.
And I'm proud of myself that I did the guinea pig thing, as they put it. I did the testing, and I used to go to the doctor in the medical sciences building over at UC. Mm-hmm. So you walk in and there's jars full of animals and all kind of body parts and everything, and that's where you're seeing your doctor at.
Well, that could be scary. But your purpose was you needed to figure it out, right?
Yes.
So were you scared at that time, going through testings and stuff? What was your feelings back then?
I was terrified because I had, if I hadn't have had them when I did, my sons wouldn't be 40 and 41. Because a year after my youngest son was born, I started having reproductive organ issues, and that was the lupus attacking my system. So,
but you have 2 sons now,
and I have 5 grandchildren. 6.
I know you have grandbabies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Grandbabies.
All right, so we picked a Grinchy theme here. I think this seems to be like a mantra amongst lupus patients here. But we are trying to be holiday. I put on a different holiday hat. I have a lot, I got to be honest with you. I have one that dances.
Oh, okay.
But today I put on silver because I feel like we're moonlighting in the evening.
Yeah, I like it.
But we did the Grinch here. And so when I first started talking to you, you told me that, you're not usually big on the holidays, but you are a big advocate and you support lupus awareness and you support other patients out there. So you were willing to join and talk with me. So I appreciate that, and being open with people and just sharing your story, because you never know who you're going to help out there. Maybe there's families out there that are young kids that are trying to figure it out, and maybe hearing your story, maybe mom and dad's behind the computer hearing the story and kind of pulling those things together. So we don't know, but explain to me just your I don't want to say issues with holidays, but
that's what it is. I mean, call a spade a spade. That's what it is. And they were personal issues that I projected to other people. Say around 16, I just gave up on the holidays because my birthday is right after the holidays. So I would always celebrate my birthday. I just couldn't get that joyfulness or that happiness that everybody was, all bubbly and Christmas decorations and trees, and I just couldn't feel it. And it was because I felt guilty for being sick. And I have issues with every time the seasons change. Winter has always been my worst, and that's around the holidays. So I just try to avoid it at all costs, pretty much.
Well, I think there's a lot of pressure with the holidays.
It is.
There's a lot of pressures of buying the perfect present or not buying the perfect present, having the budget, cooking the food,
being happy and joyful and singing and all that good stuff. I couldn't get into it.
It's not always like that, right? And so this year is a lot different. So you told me you turned a leaf, that this year is just a little bit different, that you feel this holiday spirit.
I do. For some reason, a couple weeks before Thanksgiving, I told my sons, I said, I think I might decorate a little bit, little lights or something. And they thought, okay, mom's got a headache or something, So when I came home from Home Depot the other day with a Christmas cactus and a box of Christmas lights, they're like, she's serious, because I cooked Thanksgiving dinner. I paid for it for a couple days after that, but I cooked it anyway. So I'm kind of looking forward to the holidays, although we're all on lockdown. But
for good reasons, right? For good reasons.
Yeah. But I realized that the joy and the happiness that I was missing was not from the environment. It was from the inside, and that was from the guilt. All these years, my children grew up. I think they pretty much know. They could go in a doctor's office and explain to them what lupus is, because they grew up with it.
Yeah.
They actually did speeches at the State House in Ohio.
Oh, good.
I have to send you pictures of that.
I'd love to see it.
They were mid-teens, and they each gave a speech regarding how lupus has affected their life.
I would love to see that. Yeah.
So I decided that I was going to fast forward to the end of the Grinch movie and just enjoy it,
Yeah.
because I'm going to be in pain or whatever lupus is going to do anyway.
Mm,
I might as well enjoy my environment.
that's right.
And people around me enjoy it. So I'm going to try to get some of what they're feeling, you know.
So what are your hopes for the new year?
Further progress on lupus research and um, some of the new medicines that they have out.
Yeah.
I don't really qualify for because I've been dealing with lupus 37 years now.
Yeah.
It'll be 37 years in March
Mhm.
since my diagnosis. And they aren't sure how my body would react to some of these newer medications. But I'm so glad that some of the studies that I did when I did them back in the late 80s, early 90s, people are benefiting from now. So that has brought me joy this year.
You know,
Because
that's huge. I'm glad you can see that because you may never know the people that you helped, right? By going through some trials and research is very big on what the Lupus Foundation supports. You know, we have a three-pronged approach to how we serve, and we advocate for lupus patients, we educate, and we fund research. So encompassing this all is big efforts getting out, and you're one mighty advocate to that. Research is so important. And it doesn't mean, to run out there and go find out if you can get involved with what study, talk to physicians about things if you're a candidate for that. But you're right. There are 3 new medications in the pipeline, like right here, ready to help lupus patients. We're just getting through the process. So, currently there is only one medication FDA approved and created to treat lupus, right? And that's belimumab or Benlysta. And you've seen it. You've been through it.
I've been around people who've taken it.
Yeah. It took 50 years for us to get that medication to just come to the forefront. It is the only medication FDA approved and created to treat lupus. And yet there's 1.5 million Americans out there that have lupus. So, with the creation of Benlysta, I really feel like it opened up the floodgates for lupus patients to get the recognition they deserve and more medications coming to the forefront. So that was back in 2011. And so let's look forward to the new year of better tolerable medications for lupus patients. So, I appreciate you saying that research is it. And that's a big note to note. So
my family also participated in a study out of Oklahoma, where we all had blood drawn and sent it in. Well, lupus runs in my family is why I qualified.
Mm-hmm.
And we traced it back to my great grandmother.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And they didn't know what it was back then, but
yeah,
we could chart the symptoms and what everybody's gone through. And definitely, according to my old rheumatologist, they all had lupus.
Wow.
So
we were able to really dig deep there.
Yeah.
And I do remember a study going on in Oklahoma. Our office would always get calls of looking for that research initiative. I'd say maybe it's been some time. I've been with the foundation for a long time, but I remember getting phone calls from it. I wonder if
it was in the mid to late 90s, maybe mid 90s, somewhere around in there.
Yeah, interesting. All right, so we're trying to jazz it up into some sort of holiday cheer. I was trying to get us to sing Jingle Bells, but I know you're not going to do that with me.
I'm getting there.
One day.
I wish y'all a Merry Christmas. How about that?
Okay, very good. We wish you all a Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Thank you for. Okay, so one of my other questions I wanted to touch base with you on is just how can we have a safe stay-at-home holiday? What is some traditions or something that you think you'll be able to do? Do you have any recommendations for patients out there about a stay-at-home holiday, how to be festive with it?
Well, first thing is, party is a state of mind. So I can sit here in this room by myself and have a party. I've been doing it for so long, I'm okay with being with me. And that's what I want other lupus patients to think. Just because you swell up or, you're feeling down and you got a flare coming on, happiness is an inside job. Nobody can make you happy. You have to just let it flow.
That's true. Don't let anyone else steal your joy. So it's like, not that we're going to any holiday parties, but it's okay if you couldn't make it.
Right.
And be happy maybe with the choice that you made to stay home for your health.
Better safe than sorry.
Right. Yeah. So, okay, I see that. So I got to share with you what I did for the holidays because, I have a big family and we haven't been together. Easter came and went, all the holidays came and went. We haven't been together. I had a baby. No one's seen the baby. So it's like.
I did.
You did get to see
I met her.
But what I did was the last weekend, we haven't seen my husband's grandfather in months. And so we stopped at his house and lined up cousins on the driveway, blared Christmas music to the front door, had him come to the kitchen window, and we sang Christmas carols to him. We did 3 songs. Good thing the radio speakers were louder than us because none of us could carry a tune. But it was something that was special to us. It was something that we could do with Grandpa. Who knows how many Christmases or holidays we'll have left with him. So it was something that we all did. We didn't stay all together. It was little families together. I got a tickle in my throat. I'm sorry. Okay. And we wore masks and we stayed distant. So it was all safe, but it really turned out cute.
And see, that happiness came from the inside. It didn't cost the thing, you just don't. I'd rather have a hug than a gift, but I know right now we can't have a hug, so virtual hugs have been my main staying point, And
that's exactly why we're joining together. I haven't seen you in a long time, but we get to join together on video. So this is our virtual hug, and I got a real one for you when I can see you again.
Okay.
But Suzanne is commenting out the wazoo. Happiness comes from it's an inside job. She's listening. Carrie. She definitely.
It took me a long time to accept that, but I'm okay with it. Yeah.
And Kathy Glick's also wishing you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and fine.
Same to you.
You know what? I think that should be our mantra or our takeaway from this message today.
Okay.
You said it, and people are reiterating it, is to find the joy. If the party's where you're at, so finding that joy, harnessing that love within yourself to know that you're making the best decisions for you and your family. Mm-hmm. And if you need a reminder of that joy, reach out to the chapter. We can all connect together. We're all on Facebook and things of that nature. We can build our happy community here. And now I will say, it's not all joy and happiness all the time. We know that, Lupus patients have your ups and downs, and we're just talking about for the moment when you're here together, let's find the joy. So if we can kind of create a positive environment for everyone to just join together. And if someone's down, we're going to uplift you.
Right.
Yeah. So I appreciate you joining with me, just chit-chatting, having a casual conversation, and just talking about it. So my main message I took away from you tonight, I thank you because I have found the joy in our conversation.
Thank you.
And it was a pleasure speaking with you. We'll keep talking and stuff. I hope, people out there are commenting away. And actually, Tanya's saying, I love your positive attitude and outlook. And, it's not always easy to have that positive outlook.
Right.
You're doing it tonight. We found the joy in it tonight. So to me, it's one step at a time. And
one day at a time.
One day at a time.
I got to the point where days were too long for me. So I take moment by moment.
Yeah.
And I don't expect anything. So if I don't get it, then I'm not upset. Yeah. Like people get their lab work done and they're expecting, oh, it's got to be better. I feel better. But then they get word that something's not what it should be. Just have to take it one day at a time.
One day at a time, one step at a time.
Yep.
And I think surround yourself with people that want to uplift you.
Yes.
And it's okay if you have a bad day, and we're going to be here for you. We're going to listen to you. We want you to be heard. And yeah, so my major takeaway, that's a big heart for me, is find the joy. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that message.
You're welcome.
So, okay, we're kind of getting close to a half an hour here. We
Yes.
absolutely are thrilled that we could join and talk with lupus patients. We're trying to spread holiday cheer, and it's just one day at a time, right?
Consider yourself part of the butterfly family.
There you go.
Yes.
You know?
That's where the name Mafia Butterfly came from.
I was telling Carrie that I always remember her specifically because of her email address. Because
Yes.
of butterflies is in her email address, that it just always stuck out to me. So the first time I met her, I'm thinking, who is this person? I want to know them if they're head of this mafia, butterfly mafia.
I was actually the treasurer of a group, the Inner City Lupus Support Group, and everybody got a name. So our president was Madam Butterfly.
Okay.
And when they got around to me, they was like, well, okay, she deals with the money and keeps the records. She's the mafia lady. So that's where I got it from.
You know, I remember you giving me a business card way back when.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a good memory. If you come up to me and say hello, I'll remember you. So, and I'm glad that you stuck around and still hang out. And then we got reunited again because you came to the last summit. So, and I can tell you're coming because you're telling me the stuff that we talked about, you know, telling other people. So it's important to stay educated and up to date with tools that we have.
Yes.
You know, so I'm going to encourage everyone to find the joy per your recommendation.
If I can find it, anybody can find it.
Because you've been a Grinch in the past, but not this year.
Right. I'm an OG.
Well, all right, Carrie. Well, we'll say good night to everyone and happy holidays. And we appreciate you. And so we'll say good night to everyone.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Carrie.
Talk to you soon.
You got it.
All right.